team mobbing. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbing. Wobbing. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbing.
Rogue One, a Star Wars story, is the newest spin-off film in the Star Wars anthology series and takes place leading up to the events of Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. This video is brought to you by Rogue Force Apparel, with custom-made t-shirts and hoodies. Be sure to follow them on Facebook and Instagram to keep up with all of their latest styles. Link in the description below. And real quick guys, let me know down in the comments section what you think about this video. And if you're new to this channel and you like what you see, be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss anything. So like I said, Rogue One is the first standalone film in the Star Wars anthology series. You remember how in A New Hope, how there was that little group of people who stole the Death Star plans in order to get to the Rebel Alliance so that they knew how to destroy the Death Star? Well, this is their story. Before getting any further with this review, this is going to contain heavy spoilers. So those of you that haven't seen Rogue One, probably should go see it, and if you don't care about that, well, then welcome to the video. Now, I'm not going to get into every detail about this movie because there's really no plot other than the fact that they're trying to steal the Death Star plans to get to the Rebel Alliance so that they know how to destroy it. Now, was this movie good? Yes, it was a good movie. It was not great. There was stuff that worked and there was stuff that didn't work. And this movie did a very good job at showing you how hard it was for this group of people to get those plans and how much of a struggle it was, because it was not easy. I thought the cinematography was great. I thought the actors did a very good job. With that being said, there was some negative aspects to this movie. I feel like the movie could have been shorter. There was a lot of stuff that happened too slow. None of the really exciting stuff happened until about the last 25 minutes of the movie. And that's when I really started to get into it. This movie did do a very good job at making you feel like you were in a Star Wars movie. And like I said, this movie takes place right before the events of A New Hope. So there are characters from A New Hope that were in this movie. And with that being said, one of the coolest and most disappointing parts of this movie for me was the character of Grand Moff Tarkin, played by the late Peter Cushing. He was CGI'd into this movie. And at first it worked, but his character is in the movie a lot, and I feel like it was very unnecessary. The scenes that Grand Moff Tarkin was in my opinion, could have been replaced with more Darth Vader scenes. Because yes, Darth Vader is in this movie, but he is only in the movie for a total of about 4 minutes. And that to me was a huge letdown, because you have this Star Wars movie that takes place, like I said, right before the events of A New Hope, so you can utilize Darth Vader so much into this movie, and they didn't. It's like, why would you do that? You have the biggest badass in the entire galaxy that you can use for this movie, that is a huge asset to this movie, but you chose to put him in there for about 4 minutes. But the scenes that Darth Vader was in was probably the most bone-chilling scenes I have seen in a Star Wars movie today. There's a pretty good torture scene. That scene at the end where he gets onto the ship and just starts slaughtering people left and right. And then of course there's that scene at the end where Princess Leia gets the plans, and it's that CGI'd face of Carrie Fisher from A New Hope, and it's kind of like, okay, don't get me wrong, the CGI of Peter Cushing and Carrie Fisher was amazing. It was probably some of the best CGI effects I've seen to date, but a lot of it was unneeded. Now let's talk about the characters in this movie. Felicity Jones plays the character of Jyn Erso, like I said, who is the daughter of Galen Erso, and she's kind of somewhat the badass of this movie. I mean, you learn a lot of her backstory from the very beginning of the movie. And then there's a character of Cassian Andor, played by Diego Luna, who is a Rebel Alliance intelligence officer. And you don't really get a lot of backstory about him. You really know nothing about the character except this one scene where he pretty much goes off. I thought Ben Mendelsohn did a very good job. He played the character of Orson Krennic, who was the director of advanced weapons research for the Imperial military. Thought he did a very good job. And then there's Donnie Yen's character, whose name I cannot pronounce for the life of me. He was the blind guy in the movie. He did an amazing job. I thought he was probably the comic relief of the movie. Him and K2SO. K2SO was funny as shit, I'm not gonna lie. He was pretty much the equivalent of R2-D2 and C-3PO in this Star Wars movie. One of the best things about Darth Vader being in this movie was the fact that James Earl Jones voiced him again, so that was pretty legit. Now let's talk about the character of Saw Gerrera. Now for those of you that don't know who Saw Gerrera is, he is a veteran of the Clone Wars. He was, I believe, in the Clone Wars TV series, if I'm not mistaken. I thought Forrest Whitaker's performance in this movie was completely over the top. The way he talked, I don't understand why he talked like that. And to be honest, I'm not a big fan of Forrest Whitaker, so I thought his character played no importance at all whatsoever in this movie. And he was in the movie for about a total of 2 minutes, and he didn't really do much of anything. So yeah, like I said, you don't get a lot of character development or a lot of character backstory for this movie. At the same time, it doesn't really matter because it makes you care enough about these characters. It makes you feel for them. It makes you root for them for the entire movie, even though you know that they're all going to die, which essentially they do. Yes, they all die. That's not really a spoiler because you found that out in A New Hope that they all died trying to get the Death Star plans to the Rebel Alliance. Aside from all of that, guys, I did like Rogue One. I thought it was very good. I was very entertained by it, and I was very impressed with the way it was filmed. But however, I am more excited to see Star Wars Episode 8. Luke Skywalker. So that's gonna wrap it up for this review, guys. What did you think about Rogue One, A Star Wars Story? Let me know down in the comments what you think below. And again, if you haven't subscribed to this channel and you like what you see, go ahead and click that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on anything else. And again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.